Hi, my name is Peyton Hanlon, and today I will be modeling the Listen, Read, Discuss reading strategy. The Listen, Read, Discuss, or LRD reading strategy is a comprehension strategy that helps teachers build on their students' background knowledge and give them a purpose for reading. I will model this lesson as if I were doing it with a first grade class. I chose this lesson on the way that tortoises hatch because I know that many first graders would not have the background knowledge about tortoises. So this is going to be a great way for me to support them during their reading by using the Listen, Read, Discuss strategy. I encourage you to participate in the lesson by pressing pause when prompted and utilizing the resources provided in the PowerPoint. Good morning, boys and girls. I have a friend I would like to share with you today. This animal moves very slowly, so once he comes out, I want you to put your hand on top of your head if you know what animal he is. Ready? My friend here is a reptile. Does anybody know what kind of reptile my friend is? Exactly, he's a turtle. Today we're going to be talking about an animal that's similar to a turtle and is related to a turtle, but is a little bit different. Has anybody ever heard of a tortoise? If you've heard of a tortoise, give me a big thumbs up. Many of you said this is a turtle. This is the word turtle. Today we are going to be talking about tortoises. Here's the word tortoise. How is a turtle different from a tortoise? Turtles live in water some or almost all of the time. A tortoise lives on land. In our Scholastic News today, we are going to be talking about the way that tortoises are born and the way that they grow. I want you to think for a second. How do you think that tortoises have babies? Do you think that they have babies the way that mammals do? Remember we talked about how mammals have live young, like kittens and puppies? Now that you've had a chance to discuss with each other the way that you predicted a tortoise gives birth, I'm going to actually show you how it does. Ready? Watch closely. What happened? How did the tortoise give birth? It had an egg, you're right. Tortoises and turtles lay eggs. The little tortoises and little turtles come out of the eggs. What do we call it when something like a baby animal comes out of an egg? An animal that comes out of an egg hatches. So I'm going to write the word hatch. That's an important word that we should know. All reptiles lay eggs. Tortoises can lay either one egg or they can lay up to 30 eggs. This is what 30 eggs looks like. So 30 little tortoises would hatch out of these eggs. Tortoise eggs only hatch 2 times a year. They hatch during the month of August and during the month of September. These are the 2 months that we start school. When you were born, you were called a baby. What do we call a cat when a cat is born? Right, we call a cat a kitten. What do we call a dog when a dog is born? Right, we call a dog a puppy. What do we call a deer when a deer is born? That's a tricky one. When a deer is born, it is called a fawn. Can you say fawn? Does anybody know what we call a baby tortoise when it hatches from its egg? We call a baby tortoise a hatchling. Does anybody notice anything special about the word hatchling or the word hatch? We know that a baby tortoise hatches out of an egg. That makes it very easy for us to remember the word hatchling, which is what we call a baby tortoise. All we have to do is add the ling on the end. Before we go back to our seats, we are going to watch a video of a little baby tortoise or hatchling hatching out of its egg. Please feel free to pause your video now and watch the video of the tortoises hatching linked in the PowerPoint. Now you're going to go back to your seats and you'll find a piece of paper that I already passed out to you. When you go back to your seats, I need you to get your pencil out and write your name at the top. Once your name is at the top of your paper, then we need to write the topic at the top. Now we need to fill out the What I Already Know box of the graphic organizer. Think about what you already know about tortoises. Maybe you already knew something about tortoises before you came to school today. Or maybe you already know something because we just talked about tortoises. I need you right now to write something that you already know in the What I Already Know box. At this point, please feel free to pause the video and download the Word document provided in the PowerPoint that has the graphic organizer. Then you can go ahead and fill in the topic and What I Already Know section of the graphic organizer. Great job! You remembered that tortoise babies are called hatchlings, tortoises lay eggs, and that tortoises are different from turtles because they live on the land. Now that we've talked about what we already know, you are going to read your Scholastic News called Tortoise's Big Day at your seat by yourself. While you read, I want you to look for important words. Remember, important words might be words that you don't know or you've never seen before, or maybe it's a new word that you're learning today. Like remember the word hatch that we learned a little while ago? That would be an important word to write down. Now you may begin reading Tortoise's Big Day at your seats. Go. Read page 2 to find out more about baby tortoises or hatchlings. Look for important words to fill out on our graphic organizer, and then look at some of the pictures on page 3. Go ahead and do that on your own right now. You may now pause the video and read the Scholastic News that I've provided as a PDF in this PowerPoint. I was very impressed with some of you as you were reading because you noticed a clue in the text. Some important words were bolded. If you look at page 2, you will see some bolded words, and some of you shared those with me. Those words were hatch, clutch, egg tooth, and hatchling. Another person thought that the word peck was an important word, and she said she thought it was important because she did not know what that meant. Next, you are going to work with the boys and girls at your table, and you are going to write down some things that you found out, either from the Scholastic News or from the information that you learned while Miss Hanlon was talking to you earlier about tortoises. At this point, you can go ahead and pause this video and fill out the remainder of the graphic organizer. Fill out the What I Found Out part based on what you learned from the lecture and the reading, and then fill out the Questions I Have part to ask any questions that may be in your mind after reading. To assess this assignment, I will utilize a rubric provided in the PowerPoint to assess how well the students were able to fill out their graphic organizer and to determine how well they were able to work with their group members and discuss what they learned.